Welcome to the Rich Report, a podcast with news and information on the world of high-performance computing. Today, my guest is from RogueWave Software. We have the VP of Product Management and Marketing at the company, Scott Lasica. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming on today, Scott. You know, it's been a while since we chatted at SC12, and with C13 coming up, I wanted to ask you, what are some of the major challenges in HPC that your customers are seeing, and how are you helping to address that at RogueWave?
Sure. Well, obviously there are many challenges, but the first that I want to mention is heterogeneous architectures. In HPC, faster is always better. Faster computing allows for solving the bigger questions of the universe, and that's what HPC is designed for. As the chip clock speeds hit the wall, though, organizations were forced to be more creative in reaching higher speeds. This created specialty architectures, like NVIDIA's Kepler and Intel's Xeon Phi coprocessors. Almost every HPC organization has adopted or is planning to adopt some kind of accelerator for its system, and this has created new challenges and complexity for developing code.
Okay, Scott, so how is RogueWave helping developers overcome these challenges?
Well, RogueWave has a long track record of supporting a lot of different chip architectures, different operating systems, compilers, and other technologies. Heterogeneous systems aren't new to us, and our tools have been helping developers overcome this challenge for more than 20 years. Specifically for HPC, though, our TotalView debugger seamlessly and simultaneously runs across many different architecture platforms, including x86, BlueGene, NVIDIA, Intel Xeon Phi processors, and the like.
And Scott, with all these different architectures, what are some of the other challenges that RogueWave is noticing and addressing in the HPC industry?
Sure. Well, one of the biggest challenges is scalability, right? So everybody was talking exascale. Scalability is one of the biggest challenges in HPC. And it's no secret that the systems are getting bigger and bigger. Lawrence Livermore's Sequoia has 1.5 million cores in it. When you're working at that kind of scale, with any software, it's a massive challenge. A lot of work is invested into adapting HPC codes for that kind of scale, and when problems arise, the problems tend to magnify as well. Luckily, RogueWave's TotalView debugger successfully debugged real code on nearly 1 million cores on the Sequoia.
Right. We talked about that last year. You guys reached a new milestone in that area, correct?
Yeah, that was a great step for us on the road to exascale, and it reflects our investment into the product.
Well, Scott, of course, we can't go away without talking about big data. It seems like it's on everyone's mind these days. What is RogueWave doing with this new exciting challenge?
Sure. So, big data presents a variety of challenges depending on the different needs. A couple that RogueWave is focusing on are device data and large HPC data sets. So device data is interesting because just about everything, from watches to refrigerators, are generating and transmitting data. And there's a lot of it, right? So big data. An interesting solution to this problem is to perform edge analytics. And edge analytics means that the analytics can actually be performed on the individual devices, which can then reduce the amount of data down to just the relevant information before being sent. So a great example of edge analytics could be oil companies running analytics on devices in their wells, right? Instead of simply gathering all the raw data, sending it off-site to do the analysis. So you can greatly reduce the amount of data overall. Another challenge with big data is that the HPC data sets can be massive in size, right? So they're literally big data. And these data sets present challenges when trying to run analytics across them, such as when they don't fit into physical memory or when the data is streaming and it can't fit into storage because there's just too much. So new techniques for analysis of this data are required and are coming in the next version of our IMSL product.
Wow, it sounds like RogueWave is really ahead of the curve in addressing some of these major big data challenges in HPC.
Yes, thank you. RogueWave is dedicated to providing solutions for the biggest problems that developers face. And HPC developers have, by definition, some of the biggest problems. So they get a lot of our attention. With a comprehensive approach, we provide developers with the three main components they need to create advanced applications. When you're building software or building anything really, developers need tools, they need materials, and expertise. At RogueWave, we specialize in providing these three elements for software. So 1, the tools that can scale and work with big data across many architectures. 2, the materials that come in the form of pre-built hardened libraries and components, which do everything from providing basic string functionality to analytics on streaming data sets. And finally, 3, RogueWave has deep expertise in all of these areas, and we use this expertise to not only build our own products, but to also help customers solve their problems.
Okay, Scott. Well, we're recording this right before ISC 13, which is coming up in Germany. What will you guys be showcasing in your booth there?
So at ISC 13, we are going to have several demo stations up, and one of them that we're going to be focusing on is our support for Xeon Phi. So you'll be able to see TotalView running and debugging Xeon Phi system. We've got several talks in the Intel booth. We've got our vendor forum talk. We'll have demo station for our ThreadSpotter optimization product, and we'll have a large technical staff on hand there to talk to customers, answer any questions, and show off the features of our product.
All right. Well, Scott Lasica, I want to thank you once again for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, you bet. Okay, folks, that's it for the Rich Report. Stay tuned for more news and information on high-performance computing.